While in Lagos, I also got to sit down to talk to Magic Fingers, the man behind the sound department of Anthill Studios. He broke down some things and brought me into many things I don't know that goes on behind the scene of what we see in film. Enjoy the conversation. At what point do sound get involved in a project? Or at what point do you think sound should be involved about the process of a movie?
Okay, yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I'm really honored, honestly.
Thank you so much.
I have to answer your question. Really sound is an integral part of telling stories. It enhances a story. In fact, we have films that have been made where it's just music alone. That's how important it can
Yeah.
be. So I would say sound follows the story. That's been my experience now in this job,
Mm.
which is you can't create the sound properly if you don't know what the story is saying. It's very easy to just think, oh, it's a film, I can just play. There are many things that you can play, but honestly, trust me, read the story first. Get with the director, hear what he's thinking. His words will translate to a feeling in your mind, and that feeling will evoke a sound in you, and then just go to your instruments, play it out. That's what you're looking for.
But do you think every filmmaker in Nollywood treats sound the way it's supposed to be treated in filmmaking?
What I would say with regards to that is that it's getting better. I know for a fact I'm fairly young in the industry, but then I've followed Nollywood. Of course, I'm in Nigeria, so I followed Nollywood. So I know that now we're taking care of our sound better. Now, even things like having original soundtracks and stuff like that is becoming a
It's
thing
becoming a
now.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, thanks to Anthill. I know Anthill was one that
True that.
really
True
made that
that.
a thing. And in Anthill, for instance, there's really like a sound department, like a whole department that sound. And right now, that's myself as film composer, music producer, mix engineer, final mix.
Wow.
Dotun, that's on the boy, songwriter, producer also in his right too, and then Adam Songbird, sound design, songwriter, singer-songwriter to both of them, singer-songwriter. So having that department that exists on its own, and essentially here what we do is from the moment the story has been written and we're about to shoot, for instance, Colors of Fire, from the day Colors of Fire was begun, we're shooting, there was already a Fefe dance that was ready. It was ready.
Wow.
Because they had to dance to it. So it had to be ready. And so it means I'd read the script. It means I was already being given instructions. This dance happens in this scene. So understand what's happening in that scene, interpret what's happening there. So without a doubt, the development of sound is getting better. We are learning to take care of it better because we can't. That's what helps us to tell better stories, really, because that's really what we're trying to do.
True. To buttress what you said, I've actually watched movies where I just get thrown away because of bad sound, because I wasn't feeling the emotion the music was supposed to pass through.
You just know when the sound is right.
You do.
Honestly, you just know when the sound is right, and when it's taken away from it, you know too.
How much sound is captured on set versus one that is recreated in post-production?
Very good question. Very good question. I would say that depends on what the story and the technicalities involved. For instance, many times epic became a thing in Nollywood, and so what that did was a lot of singing had to happen on sets.
Yeah.
So many times there's a group of dancers, a group of singers. So you have to capture all of that. So it means that we are capturing a whole lot more than just basic dialogue.
Yes.
And then maybe you now have to capture like an ensemble. You have maybe the drummers, a traditional drum ensemble, and then you have traditional singers, and you have dance again. So when you look at that alone, from a sound standpoint, I want to capture as much of the natural ambience as possible, the drums.
Yeah.
I want to capture the singers. There are people dancing, maybe their feet on all of that. You want to capture everything, but at the same time, in post, that is a big problem because now we have everything together. Whereas in post, yeah, exactly. What I want to do in post is I want to separate everything. Yeah. So when you think about that, I need that natural ambience of, and then I now need to create on top of it. So you have to be careful and really think through. And when you're doing your mapping, for sound, also do kind of map for the sound recordist too, so that he knows, okay, we need more of the talking drummers. We probably can't mic them individually, but then we have to mic them in such a way that we can capture a lot of it. But then there's also the person who is speaking, and maybe that drummers here, somebody's speaking here. The actor's mic is capturing so
the sound. That
you have to really think about your angles properly, and just generally have that discussion where between the sound team and the for post, and then the sound team
on set
too, so that you guys can agree on what to do and create solutions that work for the story that you're dealing with.
Beautiful. I can see there's a lot you don't see.
Yes, there's a lot. There's a whole lot. Honestly, there's a whole lot.
And to add to that, what is the hardest part of a sound environment to fix in post-production?
My experience, I would say maybe bad dialogue, but then we have ADR for that, and the technology has gotten a bit better. With AI. Thanks to AI,
we actually can't run away from that. We can't run away
from with AI, so it helped us with a bit with sound separation. But so off the top of my head, I would say maybe bad dialogue and maybe mic placement. Really, I know sometimes I know the dialogue editors are they complain a lot these days. Like, you've shot your film and in your mind sound recordings have captured everything, and then by the time you hear it, it's bad. It's bad. There's so much noise interference. So it's just about, one thing is sure, you can't eliminate it. You just have to minimize it to the best that you can. And then, of course, maybe using proper equipment, using really good microphones to ensure that the tonal quality, for instance, what you don't want to hear is a dialogue that is rich and full. You can hear the timbre and the frequencies of the voice very well, and at some point it just goes missing, and then the time comes back again. Things like that can be really tough in post-production, and you're battling frequencies and you're doing mixing gymnastics just to fix a bad audio.
Okay, moving away from that, now what separates the cinema quality audio from average production sound?
What separates it is, one, the intention of the people who are creating it. Yes, so if you're intentional about what you're creating, it means you're going to pay more attention to it, and then that means you're also going to pay attention to skill. You're going to pay attention to manpower. So high quality films require a lot of skill. And sometimes that skill may not be resident in one person. Okay, now how do I mean? I'll use Anthill music department. The way we are skilled, we kind of cover up for everybody. Okay, I'm a bit of an all-rounder. I can produce, I play good with keyboards, I also mix. But then I have Adam, who is a gifted songwriter. He also mixes. He sings, a gifted singer. We all know Adam, And then we have, so he may not be a pianist like me, but then because he has that music production mindset, so we can relate on that level. And then we have Dotun, who can do dial, whose skills is a dialogue editor. He's also a songwriter. Arguably the best Nollywood romantic songwriter, in my opinion. All the hits romantic songs in like the epics. He's done a lot. So he's a songwriter and he's a singer too. So between all of us, we kind of have covered the basics. Yeah, exactly. So I can work on sound, email it to Adam, put your voice on it, send it back to me. Oh, Dotun, this place needs percussion. That is very good with percussions.
Wow.
So, like, you have percussions over there.
Yeah.
Easily, I can call him. Oh yeah, look
Come
it
and
up.
do this.
Yeah, and both of them, in their own rights, are also producers. Maybe not. Dotun is probably not like producer like me. Yeah, but then he can easily hook up his laptop, put a few things there, so it's easy to bounce ideas off. So you need that mix of skills and talents to be able to cover the bases really. And Adam is a music supervisor too, same as I am. Yeah. So you just need that mix. One person can't do it, but then you need to either there's somebody who can outsource it to people, or there's a team already, which is the beauty of Anthill. There's a team already, so we can easily say, guys, show up at Anthill Studios. We need to
right
fix.
away.
Yeah, exactly. For instance, Clouds of Fire teaser that went viral and everybody was talking about it. It was just one night. Guys, we need to find the music. That was it. And everybody came, and in one night we had it.
Wow.
And that's because we have the skill sets. Yeah.
So basically, if I should put everything you've said in one statement, it just means that you can't leave the whole work to one person.
No, you can't leave the whole work to one person. I strongly believe it's counterproductive. But you need that skill set.
That brings me to my next question. Now, which is how much, if there's a budget for a film, now, what percentage of that do you think, what percentage of a film budget should go to sound?
Percentages. I probably won't be able to answer your question perfectly because I'm not quite at the back end. Like I have an idea, but I'm not quite at the back end where I can say I see the spreadsheet.
But if you can just put a number to it.
I think you should be spending, because when we talk about sound now, you're talking about all the some music that you need to produce, all the percussionists that need to come to play something, all the singers that you need to play, come back and sing something again, or maybe we as a crowd that needs to come and do. We are probably going to have to put like a solid 10% of your budget.
10%?
Or somewhere between like 7 to 10% of your budget.
Wow.
I would like to think, depending on what your
Okay.
what your overall budget is.
Anyway, depending on the amount of departments in that particular
sure, definitely. Project. But then I would like to think, for a movie that probably costs you like maybe like 200 million, if you dedicate like a solid 20 million thereabouts, you should get.
Do you think the audience give sound department enough credit as they deserve?
Credits.
Yes.
You see, the thing with credits is many times the audience do not know what it takes to get these things out. And I would say Nollywood in particular right now, I would even say maybe even at the level of the executives too, there are some executives who they know it's necessary, but then they still treat it with levity. But then based on what we hear from the audience, I would say they don't appreciate it enough. I mean, I'll use Colors of Fire again and the few projects I've worked on. I mean, I got people who said, "Oh wow, well done. The music on these movies was great, was good." But for the most part, it flies over people's head. It's like they take it for a given, but then when it is horrible, they will notice.
They will notice.
That's the thing. Or maybe the audio is bad or something, it's horrible, they will notice. But when it's excellent, a few people who actually have their ears out for such things, yes. But I would say we probably don't have a critical mass that appreciates it yet. It's changing. Again, I would say it's changing, it's getting better, but good enough, not. It could be better.
I want to ask, some very deep questions. And
Okay.
what is the most unrealistic expectation you think filmmakers have from a project?
Most unreal, man. I'm really going deep.
I warned you.
Okay, unrealistic expectation. Unrealistic expectation. That would be that. From which standpoint are we saying this?
Now, from your own department.
From my answer, what is the
Yes.
most unrealistic
Yes. Expectation of
for
filmmakers
filmmakers or
from your
filmmakers
department.
from my department?
Yes.
Expecting us to do magic with little resources. That is very unrealistic. I mean, as recently as yesterday, yeah. Of course, I can't say the project.
Yeah, sure.
There's a certain project that did not go well. The quality was low for the post. And a decision was made somewhere like, come on, there's this other project that they heard the trailer and they were like, wow, it's so good when compared to that. And like, let's redo it. And they're literally asking us to perform a miracle in a very short time frame. And at the end of the day, it goes down to numbers, money, figures. Now, to pull that, is it achievable? Yes. I mean, it's a death sentence, but can we pull it off? Yes, we've done it before.
Whoa.
But then the resources needed to do that, it means I'm going to call certain singers at an ungodly hour of the night. To make that happen, some resources need to be expended. And by the time I look at the overall budget and compare to the stress and the inconvenience you're going to give me as the one supervising the project and the people I'm going to call up at short notice, yes, they're going to come because it's me.
Yeah.
We have a relationship. So they're trusting me that if they show up, I know that you will do what is right. I mean, there's a certain level, like even if I want you to do me a favor, there are certain levels that I shouldn't go below because I must honor your craft. I must honor your time. So sometimes the people we're working with don't realize all of that. Things. So, and then when you call the figures, by the time you do the math, no, it's not working. Sorry. You use your sound that way. Next time, plan better or give good people, pay people well to do your work.
Finally, I promise this is my last question. Working at Anthill, how has it affected you as a music person?
For one, it has expanded my social network. I know a lot more people now. And the people that know me now have expanded with regards to the work I do. Honestly, and it has given me a bigger platform to like show my skills and all of that. Someone was asking me a couple of weeks ago, just towards the premiere, like, Anthill has been doing a lot of films for a while. What's different? And I told the person, I'm the one that is different. I'm the new person. I'm the new person. So yeah, really, it's given me like an opportunity to work with people I've always wanted to work with, kind of projects I've always wanted to work on. And especially to also work with Anthill was something I'd always look forward to doing because Anthill is known for good music in the movies. So yes, and so somewhere there I want to be a part of this. So being able to do that really, really great. And it helps also when you work with one amazing, like super talented folks. I've already spoken about them before. And then of course, arguably the most forward-thinking Nollywood executive,
visionary filmmaker.
Yeah, Nia Kimolai. What just that alone, seeing his work ethic, seeing the way he thinks, and seeing the way different departments work together, the whole system. Like we're doing Immersia right now, and you can. I like seeing how systems interact with each other. So I'm seeing how one person does fits in with the other, and it just helps my mind to think bigger and also begin to see that I must begin to think in systems. Magic Fingers must become a system that has several parts together, and I must be able to work everything together and it works.
I've taken too much of your time, but
it's a pleasure.
But it was really worth it.
Thank you so much.
One thing I was able to take, or if I'm to mention one thing take off from my conversation with you is the fact that the audience won't really give enough credit to sound departments in movies, and I think we need to do better, both as consumers and as filmmakers. The sound department, they actually deserve a lot more credit. I, for one, I try my best to accord sound departments their respect, because
Yeah.
when the sound is bad, I know when the sound
Sound
is
is
bad,
bad.
I say it. So
Yeah,
if
I
a
get.
sound is good,
We have to
let's talk
say so.
about it.
Yeah,
Let's talk
definitely.
about
Thanks
it.
so much.